Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, September 6th. I hope you had a fantastic long weekend. Maybe got some rest in there. That would be great. We are taking a look here at the futures, and after putting it, actually, I want to go to the SPY first. We'll talk about the SPY. So, here we go. Okay, so Friday, we came dangerously close, Thursday and Friday, to touching this lower trend line. This trend line came from the lows in June, and then we tapped and put in a higher low here in July, and we're coming back. We came very close to tapping it. So a couple things I want to point out here. First of all, we're below the 50, or below the 200, although we did test the 200 within this range. So I think this might be our range here for a little bit, where we just kind of get tighter and tighter. We'll see. But it's critical that when we come in today and open up, that we actually hold today's opening price and then move on from there. We can't continue to put in new lows. Well, actually we can, but I'm saying if you're looking for the upside in the market, that's not what we want to see. We want to see this trend line hold. So Friday's candle, although, wow, I mean, I thought that we got kind of that really nice report. A lot of people were calling it the Goldilocks report for jobs because it was good, but it wasn't too good, right? So it does open the door for the Fed having for the Fed to continue on with making rate hikes. That's in 2 weeks, by the way. So we have 2 weeks to sit here and contemplate what they are going to do, and we'll hear about it from all the talking heads. Up, down. Wait, we're gonna have. Well, they're gonna do 50. No, they're gonna do 75. They're gonna do this many. They're gonna do. It doesn't matter. We'll just have to wait and see. So play that price action. But one thing I did want to note after this really, punishing Friday going into the long holiday weekend, which turned out to be higher volume. So not a good sign, because typically on Friday of a 3-day weekend, our volume is pretty light. We did not see that. We saw a very big push to the downside, and sellers really stepped in. So there's a couple different ways to read this. One, we actually didn't, it's not an engulfing candle because we didn't put in a new low. So if you're looking for the silver linings, we didn't put in a new low. And with all of this selling that did come in, is that now pushing us down into enough of an oversold area where we are looking for the return to the upside? This morning we are seeing an upside. The Dow open is looking to be plus 230 points or so, give or take a little. And NASDAQ is looking to be up about 88 points. So excuse me. So we will see if that holds, and that's the thing. This really, really, really needs to hold for us to have any confidence in the market. This was our opening price last week, and you see that we put it in very early, and right here, put it in really early. Had a nice little bump during that day, but never were able to hold over that price. So that's very significant. Now I want to point out the longer term patterns that we have working. So we have, I would say, 2 patterns that we could, actually a couple more than that, but maybe 2 overall patterns. The ones, I always look at the patterns, draw them in, and then look at the one that is about to complete first. Okay, so the first one that looks like it may complete, and I'll go ahead and draw this on here, is head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulders. So this would be the head. Actually, I'm just going to go do this so we know it's the head. I know, pretty clever, right? This would be a shoulder, and then this would be a shoulder. So we could still tap down a little bit further, but you can see our neckline is a little bit higher. So we're just going to go ahead and draw it into something like this, okay? That is the nearest term pattern looking to play out in the head and shoulder area. Okay, so now if we're looking longer, right, this could be the head, like that, a cute little head right here. Yeah, there we go. And this would be a shoulder, which means we could still have some more downside before or coming up, and then this would be the pattern, okay? So that's, we're not as far in that pattern as we are the inverse, right? But then we can look even longer term. I know this is a lot to kind of think about, but this could be the head, and then this could be a shoulder. Now this would be a little bit more wonky, but this could be a shoulder, okay? So we have to look at all of these patterns that may or may not play out. More importantly, pay attention to continue to our most current price action and the trend lines. Trend lines are very easy. Just keep those overall like head and shoulder patterns in your mind, but pay attention really to these trend lines as we get a little bit closer and closer, and then eventually we will snap. Which way will we snap? Will we continue this downtrend? So we like this to look at this uptrend, but this downtrend is very significant, and we could even draw in this as a longer term wedge, right? So this is a stronger trend line because we've used it on a longer term pattern. So those are things that you really need to be paying attention to. Price action, overall rules, don't expect any particular pattern to play out. Now and this is on the weekly, right? So these will take a while to play out. All right, so anyway, let's hop back in here to the futures, because that way we can easily see we did put in a higher low on Friday. Today we came in and we're pushing up just a little bit well inside of this little candle trio that we have going on. So really mark in that opening price. If we hold up above it, maybe then it's okay to kind of leg into a few longs. If not, look to your short side or just step aside. Okay, I am watching a few here today. First, I want to talk about the Apple event that happens tomorrow. Really big. The SPY and Apple almost look identical, right? So looking at Apple, you know, we look at the tech companies, right, as, well, that's what they are, tech companies, growth companies. Apple, we've talked about this before. Apple is something more than that. It is such a large company, but they are really looked at like what Big Blue used to be, right? They are looked at as this kind of the big steady ship in the market. And so if Apple is failing, typically we will see the rest of the market fail with it. Not always, but it is very hard for the SPY and Apple not to be moving in a fairly similar pattern. They are such a big company. And they're more than just a tech company these days. So, okay, Apple closed below its 50. And we're going to watch and see. We will, a lot of times we do get a nice little bump into the event, but then as the event wanes on, that bump will go away. So we'll see. Watch here for maybe just an overnight trade on Apple. Okay, but that's not what I set up. CCJ, Cameco. All right, we've seen these names do very, very well. This one, you know, really took off, put in a nice little bull flag. Looks like another bull flag trying to play out. Or if you look at it on a much longer time frame, like if you throw this on a weekly, right? Just moving, right? Just very bullish action here. So we want to watch and make sure that this bull flag actually does play out. We had 2 days of rest, came back near the 8, put in a very long leg kind of doji candle here, looking for continuation. I like the October 30 calls. I like an entry around 29.48. I would stop it if it closes below the 8 EMA, which is a little bit lower, giving it a little bit more of a breathing room. My targets, my immediate target would be 29.95, but then looking out to 31.57 and 32.49. First, solar. So solars, although they took a little bit of a break after a nice run, they've been setting in these, you know, really quite nice higher patterns with a lot more volume these days, especially since they're earning. So we are looking for a continuation of this. I like the FSLR, the 30 call. I just have to fixate. There we go. I'm sorry, 130 call. A 130 call. I like the entry around 129.74 and stopping around 126.41. And on this, my targets are going, you know what, I actually did I put those in quite right? I think I didn't copy them in right. Hold on, sorry. Oh, talk about not this. I know it's Tuesday, but it sure feels like a Monday. So initial target would be 130.95, and then we're looking for the breakout. Yeah, okay, that's right, 130.95, which is our high here from Friday, and then it would be a breakout play. Okay, So some other names that are looking bullish today, I would look at Crowd for a reversal. So not so much bullish as this has been so beaten up since earnings. I would look for a reversal up off of this fib line. We talked about Apple. So Apple on the news event. And Kohl's had some interesting information last week about their financial plans. So we will watch this one as well and see if we can get above. This is a really nice squeeze of the 20 and the 50 up above that. I really like that. However, these names typically you have to be a little bit more cautious because they can quickly fail, and we don't want to get caught in that. And then sadly, Bed Bath & Beyond is going to go on the short side of the list. It did bounce the 50, but they had just tragic news over the weekend about their CEO. And yeah, so I think that Bed Bath & Beyond is going to end up being a painful trade. And I'll tell you what, it being a meme stock, I think that the consequences of and I don't want to throw shade on anybody, I'm not trying to do that, but the meme stock mania, it's an unfair playing field for the people working at the company, especially those CEOs and the people that are in the company that are trying to keep their regular everyday jobs. It really skews the outlook on it, and it's we're now starting to see that play out in some other ways. Okay, match to the downside. Just very weak in name. And SE, this one too, I think we're going to revisit these lows back here at 54.06. There's a couple other others on the list, but with the overall green outlook, we were closed yesterday, but China and Europe, I believe, are both red. I know China closed red, or Asia closed red, so we'll have to watch and see if we get weakness now after the morning start. Okay, that is it for me this morning. Have a great day. If you have any questions, reach out Heather C at givingtreetrading.com.